MDL Day 3 playoffs. I've got a lovely cast and crew of wonderful people that are hanging out here. How you guys doing?
Doing good, doing good. Grant, how you feeling, man?
I'm doing good. Do you hear this
Whoa.
voice? No crackles,
Ooh.
no nothing. People were like, Grant,
Oh my
you need
God.
to cast less Dota. I said, the only cure for this is more Dota and 9 cups of tea and like half a jar of honey.
Yeah, we'll see if 2 hours from
If it
now you
keeps
still
up.
sound the same.
I mean, I just got to keep slamming these. I might have to go to the bathroom a few times, but I'll be good.
I believe in you, man. It's going to be great. And we got a great match to start things off,
do.
too. Hopefully your dulcet tones are going to be able to bring us through the craziness that's going to be this series. OG versus VGJ Storm. To me, at least, I think it's one of the more matches that I'm hyped up for. Like, you sort of got two different stories going on, right? Like, VGJ Storm, they're the ones that are on the upswing right now. OG sort of, are they going to bottom out and now turn it back around? You know
So
what I'm talking
are they
about?
meeting now? You know, it's like one's on the up, one's on the down, and they're meeting at the same level.
I know.
Is that what this is?
That's kind of what I'm wondering. I don't know. Grant, you have thoughts on these two teams?
You know, I haven't watched much VGJ Storm. I mean, I like watch their replays and stuff, but I haven't watched them live. But OG, man, they 2-0'd Mineski yesterday, and I'm like, wow, these guys own. But then they get 2-0'd by another team, and I don't know. OG seems super. They draft for themselves, and other teams draft around them. So the teams that actually know how to draft, I think, really destroy OG.
Well,
And
that's VGJ, man. I've been
that's
watching.
what I
I've been
mean, yeah.
casting all their games. These guys are out drafting opponents, crushing them. The games they've struggled is the even games because that's where I feel like they're bit inexperienced. Like you are, Snake King sometimes crack a bit under pressure in the
Yeah.
even games, but 90% of their games they get ahead and they just crush their opponents.
Yeah, I think it's SVG, right? He coached EG for 2 years, I believe. And, I mean, you get all that information in from, what, like Arteezy, even Sumail, like all this stuff. And then he just comes out and just makes this team that a lot of people were doubting. They kind of sucked for, like, 2 months. And now all of a sudden they won a minor, their winner bracket in a major. They obviously can't qualify for TI, but, I mean,
Well, I mean, they
just look
can
good.
qualify
They
through
can.
the
Just
other
not
area.
through points.
Right,
Not
exactly.
through points, yeah.
But that's the thing, right? Like, I'm looking at this team, and I'm thinking about all these players, and everybody would normally say, oh, gee, they're like the veterans. But it's like, VGJ Storm, they're also veterans. Like, they're veterans of the Tier 2 teams and, like, the coaching role or whatever. But they're all very, like, super talented and stuff.
Yeah, I think OG for me, it's been like the Seb show. Like, I
Okay.
know a lot of people are talking about other, but like Seb, now that they're putting him on like Slark carry, he's just been owning on that. They put No Tail middle and a Kunkka. You don't really lose mid as Kunkka. And people are saying No Tail's like the guy who's, I mean, drum Slark kind of like losing him games. You put him on a Kunkka, and it's pretty simple. Seb makes the plays, and they're doing a lot better.
Yeah, No Tail's best when he's on like the team hero, like the selfless hero. If he's on the hero that's meant to win in the game, that's when things don't
tough.
look as good. So Seb seems to be better suited to it.
I mean,
so.
he's what, rank 2 in Europe, like on MMR.
He's a
Like
good-
people don't
he's a
realize
good player.
he is very, very good, and I think he's been showing it now that he's playing those. Like, you have to commit a Beastmaster ban just for him too. I've noticed everyone's banning Beastmaster for him, and it's nice to have.
Oh, totally. I like it. Yeah, I watched a good amount of the VGJ Storm games through the first couple of days also, and there were a couple of times, like you said, where like Snake King, it felt like maybe he's feeling the nerves a little bit or something. There was a time where he was like trying to get a kill with the Beastmaster. He tried to hit both of them with the axes, and he just hit nobody and fed. But it's like equally so, there's games where in that same game he like jumped into the Roche Pit as Beastmaster, stole the Aegis, and then that brought the game back for them. So it's like you've got all these players that are incredibly high skilled. The other one that I'm waiting to see is I want to see if we're going to be seeing some more Mojo Wisp. That guy is out of control. Oh, and look at these people.
I don't think.
Mojo's been like their MVP.
Yeah,
He's so good.
I think for Wisp, isn't it like whoever doesn't have first pick bans it, right? Because you have Jarex and you have MSS. Like, both teams are insanely good at it. I just think in general, Wisp is going to get banned, even in Chinese games now.
Yeah,
they're actually playing it.
Wait, dude, when China's picking Wisp, you know the hero is actually probably OP.
First picking it, yeah, exactly.
So is that the changes then? Because it feels to me like before Wisp was like the super niche hero where it's like only certain people would play it, and now it's like they made it a little bit easier. So pros that wouldn't have been able to play it before are, or is it like all these people used to play Wisp?
They made it a lot better. I think it's easier to play, but also stronger. And like you get level 15, if you have like a gyrocopter or something, and you give him this free Ag Scepter, it's just insanely powerful.
Look at that. Look at how professional Clairvoyance looks. I've never actually seen him dressed up.
I thought he was an admin.
He's got it. The first time I ever met Clairvoyance, still my favorite story is like TI2, and I go in there, and it's him. Like you look at him, and he's wearing a trench coat. A legit trench coat, and I walk in. I thought he was gonna like sell me watches, and he's like, "Oh, what's up, Grant? Clairvoyance here." And I was like, "I did not expect that to be Clairvoyance." Oh, thank you. I have one right here though.
He's got double T's now. He's gonna be double fisted.
I'm gonna be ready. I don't know.
He was coaching like Envy's team then or something, right?
Clairvoyance. People don't realize how long he's been around for a long time. He doesn't play. He just coaches. Like he coached TI 4 C9. as well.
So I went to a LAN where he played. It was the Las Vegas Battlegrounds LAN where the casting duo was me and Aosin, and that was it for 12 hours. And Clairvoyance's team, he came up to me afterwards. He's like, "Hey, how's it going?" He's like very professional and nicely spoken. And we're like in some casino in Vegas, and he's like, he just looks so out of sorts. It was great though.
Battle for the Strip, right? I think.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. That was a great one.
That's funny.
High quality NA Dota lands. NA Dota, man, is VGJ Storm the best team in NA now? I gotta ask you, Grant, man. This is your region.
I think they're at a major with EG after this, and I want to say that's going to be the real thing. But, I mean, right now, SVG clearly is a better drafter than EG. I just want to say that, so I think that makes them a better team.
Okay. There's some people that have been saying that you should have your coach be the one that's drafting because it takes some of the pressure off. Like, if you're drafting there, you sort of are afterwards, as we see this wonderful man right here, out of focus as he's out of focus in his pubs. But the thing that we sometimes see is, like, it can be that extra pressure when you're in the middle of the game and you're like, well, I drafted this, and now somebody's thinking, like, well, he maybe drafted me this hero and he shouldn't have, whereas the coach is like that third party. You think that's something? Like, should we see more coaches be like the main drafters?
I myself don't actually like it that much.
Really?
Like SVG is clearly, he's always going to do the picks for him, and I think that's better. Like EG just recently moved to Bulba doing it, so I guess we're going to have to see with that going on. But OG again, right? Seb came in, and now they don't have a coach, so they're not going to. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of, like, if you're not playing the game, like, for your team, I still think there's, like, a little bit of
like
something.
as a coach, you're objective and you can look at the game from the outside perspective and be like, well, this pick didn't work, this pick should work, but it's the players who play the game and the hero. So the coach may think a hero didn't work, but the player may just feel like from how the game plays out that this is the perfect pick. So I think players have a very different read on the game because they're actually in it.
Yeah. But I think it's fine. Like, right, for Mineski, 71 has been doing a great job. Like, I think it's like a player-to-player basis too.
Yeah. It seems a more regional thing with the Asian teams. They're the ones who mostly have the coaches. EG's like one of the first Western teams to do it.
They just started last tournament, yeah. So
how'd they do at that tournament?
I mean, they didn't do terrible, right? They were one game away from top 4, but
that's fair enough.
They definitely should do better at a major or minor. Pardon me.
Well, we got the draft up now. We saw some giggles after the first round of bans. Apparently, Gyrocopter ban against them is kind of funny. I guess that's OG with the first pick themselves.
I like the Kunkka ban. I mean, I think they're going to focus on no-tail, right? Like, I do believe this team thinks no-tail might be the weak link. And if you just kind of ban out, like, this Kunkka, that's why they 2-0'd Mineski. It was all because of Kunkka. You just take it out. DP, Yawar has been playing a lot of DP, off-lane, middle, and carry. Just take it out of the pool.
Oh, look at him. He's looking into my soul.
Well, if you're going to target no-tail, I think Yawar is maybe the play you target.
On that VGJ, side, yeah, I agree.
You find the weak link who has the smallest hero pool, at least the hero pool they've had success on, and say, well, if he's on one of these few heroes, he's going to struggle a bit. Yeah. Like, Yawar's played some Morphling, but he didn't look as good on the Morphling as he did those other two heroes.
Yeah, that no one's fallen off. Morphling and Lina, right? Like, at Epicenter and the GSC Minor, everyone was picking those two heroes, and now, like, they're just not picked at all. Seems weird.
It feels like survivability in any capacity is just so much more important now because of team fights. Like, if you can get picked off at the start of a fight, that hero is just not going to do well. And it's why, like, heroes like Kunkka are doing so well now, given that boat buff and, you know, the early team fighters with the gyro, wisp, all these things that just keep people alive.
I think these offlaners are really similar, actually. S4 and snaking. S4, people want to put him on playmakers, right? But, like, yesterday when they played versus Mineski again, they picked him Underlord. And he played great. Like, it's not a playmaking hero, but he still, like, managed to take over the game with a non-playmaking hero. And I think Snaking's the same way with, like, his ABBA.
Yeah. Snaking did the same thing, played a really good Underlord, but he can play the flashier heroes, too, where, like, he's an Axe or something playing hyper-aggressive, so...
I think these teams actually really do match up, like, very similarly, except for maybe the carry role. I think Resolution is much more of a farmer than both Seb and No-Tail.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, you are No-Tail pretty similar, S4 and Snaking pretty similar style.
There it is, Leshrac, so...
This hero has been garbage.
Really bad win rate.
I was looking at the win rate, it's like most picked hero and 12% win rate.
That's not good.
Well, it's like that same thing, right? He does so much damage, but, like, he just can get blown up to hell. And I think, like, also when we've been seeing, you know, you talked about, like, Beastmaster, I think Abba too, all these things that are like strong laners. I saw Leshrac that ran into the off lane with an Orb of Venom and just tried like punching people. It's like, I don't think that that's his strongest suit right there.
I think people saw Navi did it with Lil at Epicenter, and he was like 6-0 on Leshrac or something, just Orb of Venom first pick Leshrac, but other people just can't do it how he does, so I don't know. Obviously it could be an S4 hero, which we've seen him play a lot of, more than likely.
I'm not like a big stats guy, but like all of VGJ's drafts, and we're looking at like the heroes that have done well. Every time they see him picking heroes, it's like these heroes that have 80-90% win rates at the tournament. They're not picking any of these Leshes and stuff like Clockwork. They're picking a lot of the Gyro, the Kunkka. These heroes, are doing well here, and they're going to keep playing them, and they seem to have a better understanding of what currently fits the meta game in terms of draft. They're out-drafting so many opponents.
Do you like that they're sacrificing Yawar? Like, right, you got rid of Tomato was kind of sacrificial, and he was on it, and it feels like Yawar is now like the sacrificial lamb on this team.
I'm okay with it just because of what Rezo brings. I think that's the challenge. You bring in a guy like Rezo, amazing when you can play around him a bit, but if you don't fit your team around Rezo, I think you're not going to get the most out of him. So it comes down to can Yawar be flexible, and we've
half
seen
and
him.
half.
Yeah,
they're winning.
He's the weak link, but that's because VGJ make him the weak link.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing. It takes actually, I think, more strength to play that sacrificial role. Like, it's easy to come in as Resolution. Well, I don't want to say it's easy to come in as Resolution. It's easy to come in and get all of the farm and then make your normal plays. It's really hard, I think, to change up your style. And a first phase Morphling, this hero's damn good.
It is. I think you give it to Rezo, though. I know you talked about Yawar. I don't know. Resolution on that hero just feels like one of the best Morphlings, but man, a first series pick of it.
I think it's hard to take the Ancient Apparition now too, because like taking AA into Clockwork, I feel is maybe a little bit scary.
I don't think you can. And AA Leshrac just as a duo.
VGJ is not afraid of AA. They picked Death Prophet one game, and the other team didn't have their 5. They don't even ban AA. They could have banned it. They're just like, we think this hero is garbage. If you pick AA, your lanes are going to lose. Like, they're going to have a Clockwork +1 in the off lane, and snaking, if he's on a Doom or something against an AA, you can't zone this guy. Like, it's just a terrible laning support right now, it seems.
Take the Tusk. Man, I heard, I didn't actually get to watch the game. I still want to watch the replay, but yesterday MSS's Tusk apparently just like carried the game.
Against LGD. They 2-0'd LGD. Every single time this Axe would blink in and call, half a second later, less than, he was blink, snowball, save that hero. Every single time. LGD finally came up with this really sick counterplay where they X the Axe as he blinked in.
Yeah.
So the snowball then, he'd pull the Axe back and the snowball would get pulled into the enemy team. It was hilarious, but it still didn't win LGD the fight. They were just too far behind, but his Tusk was insane.
All right, I know the next level play, he is actually snowballing the creep when they did that. That's the thing.
That's what he's got to do now.
Man.
Well, it's Disruptor banned out now as well as Warlock. So anticipating some 5 picks coming around. I feel like Clockwork has been much more often the 3-position hero now. Like 4-position Clock feels a little bit worse to me because you can't get those bounty runes as often and fight for them.
And I think obviously the changes to strength gain, like Clockwork can actually just stay in a lane. Then he's level 10 with like 2,000 HP. It's crazy.
OG is one of the teams running a lot more core Leshrac than support, which I prefer seeing this here as a core. I think partly it's had a terrible win rate because too many people playing this like 4 or 5 position Lesh that's super squishy, gets blown up, and just does not seem to work at all. So.
And it's kind of a flashy hero, right? And that's what people want S4. And I think S4 does play when it's in a core role form.
Yeah.
I think that's a smart idea.
Yeah, he'll go mid, and that's when Seb kind of goes to the offlane a bit.
There was no Beastmaster ban, though. I'm actually really surprised. And OG had to be like, why aren't they banning our Beastmaster?
They banned Witch Doctor Warlock. Maybe that's setting up for a Beastmaster pick.
Feels like it.
I mean, they have the option to take it right now, but they can also take it themselves if they wanted to switch it over. I don't think it's really good, though.
I think Clockwork Beastmaster is like too much of just like initiation. Vision's always good, don't get me wrong, but you don't really have like a follow-up to your playmakers. Like Clockwork Beastmaster go in, Morphling's probably farming somewhere.
Too much of a good thing means you're lacking other stuff. And I kind of like the idea of just taking a 5 here that is going to be able to lane with Morphling pretty strong, and then they can try and like really heavily pressure the enemy safe lane.
Yeah, and that's why OG took out Warlock as well as Witch Doctor. In these 2-1-2 lanes, like this sustain is so good from both of them, and Just take it out. Don't let the Morphling have free farm because of it.
Yeah, and heals with Morphling's amazing because you morph full
Oh,
agi,
yep.
and then you pop your wand, you get a heal from a Witch Doctor or a Warlock, and
You're full.
boom, yeah, you're in a good spot. So that's something they ran a Warlock plus Morphling in one of their games yesterday that I casted. So definitely something they've shown. Instead, they're going to get the Bane, not a healing hero, but a very strong laning hero for VGJ.
You can't trade against the Bane. Like I don't think any hero can trade versus the Bane.
We'll see what OG have in mind to deal with that lane, because they've got a Tusk +1, so they can kind of secure that lane with the Ice Shards, but we haven't seen like the Dooms do too well against the Morphling plus Bane type lanes. They just get zoned out a bit too hard.
Yeah. Like Doom's great once you get level 6, but until then, like Morphling will just deny every single creep against you if he has a partner.
Yeah, I feel like they need to find like another hero that can kill here. You talk about like not being able to trade with the Bane. The answer that people have been coming up with is like, all right, we'll just kill him, and like with the Tusk, they can maybe do that. I don't know if Lesh Tusk is good enough, and since you say they like to run it in the core anyways, it seems unlikely they do that. I don't know. What else is like super strong off?
I'd like to see him just pick some big teamfight hero like a Underlord. Even though it's not a combo with the Tusk, it's just this hero that is going to go to the lane, get some farm, and offer a lot come mid-game. Nature's Prophet, though.
I forgot. That hero did get
Wow.
left all the way through.
Fly has been playing, I feel like, this hero a bit
He's been
more.
playing a lot, yeah.
Yeah, than like the off lane.
So I think that probably is their support duo, Tusk, Nature's Prophet, S4 for Leshrac. And that is one hero that does decently versus Bane. You just right-click him, usually with Orb of Venom and 2 Treants, and even Bane can't trade versus that. It's like 73 or 63 base damage on Nature's Prophet.
Same for Morphling. Can't get a Stout Shield against them.
Yeah.
They're going to have some trouble maybe.
I think we might see a lot of lane swaps. We haven't been seeing like that many of them in any of these games. I think these early
Battle.
levels are so important. Yeah, they're like, even if you have a losing lane, you're willing to do it because for some reason, winning lanes doesn't win you games anymore.
Yeah.
Like I saw 2 games in a row, Mineski OG. Mineski won their lanes, 3 lanes in one game, and they still lost the game.
Yeah, it seems that like 10-minute stage matters more than
Way
the
more than
first
laning,
5
yeah.
minutes or something.
Which is way different from what, a month ago? All
Yeah.
these patches, they just changed stuff.
Everyone was picking the strongest laners possible for a little while.
Being able to like get those bounty runes too, it's like a real objective. If you can secure, I've seen a couple games where people have been securing 4 bounty runes at the 5 and 10 minute mark, and they're so far ahead. It's nuts. It's like a 2,000 gold swing sometimes.
Yep. Especially, I think at the 20-minute mark, they're worth 110.
Yeah.
So you get, what is that, 440 for every single person?
Yeah.
It's nuts.
They're going to get the Underlord. So snaking, this is the same. They had Clockwork with Underlord yesterday, and it's kind of just like Clockwork. He cogs the lane, Underlord gets some farm, and Clockwork very quickly roams to the safe lane, so they can like tri-lane the Morphling and get kills.
He went hell with a Dominator, I assume.
Yeah,
I think that's.
he was running
such a
his
good
creep around everywhere, trying to find Dark Rift ganks. Like he was doing some
That's
fun
awesome.
stuff. Yeah.
So now, Fly, what do you take here? Like,
Man, this is tough. I think they want to play fast pace. You're against this Morphling, man. You want to just like run down towers, push very fast this game. Like Death Prophet would be great, but they banned it themselves a lot earlier. Maybe they get like a Dragon Knight type hero.
Yeah.
like DK.
DK can lane in the side lanes, even safe lane it. Leshrac could theoretically safe lane or go off lane with Tusk.
You could also go Viper, I guess, as well. It's sort of that magic resistance to deal with Morphling a bit. I don't know if it's as good as DK nowadays.
There's also the Razor, which OG like to pick a lot.
OG, yeah, and they won a 50-minute game with that Razor. They just took him. They're actually going to do the Drow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean it's the fast-paced push. It's way faster than I expected because Drow with Leshrac, Nature's Prophet. This is the kind of draft which can heavily punish a morph pick if you kind of get rolling. You gotta make sure you don't get bullied too much in the lanes though.
But they do have an Underlord already, and like that's one of those heroes that's pretty good at wave clear. I guess the other 2 supports don't offer any of that though.
Yeah, they don't.
Clockwork Flare, I guess it's like, eh.
The hard thing for OG is they don't have like a pipe builder or like mech or any of those team items. Like who actually gets those items for their team right now, and it's pretty unclear.
It's like maybe Nature's Prophet, but you don't want like your Nature's Prophet, the Drow, are really getting those.
I think you take it in Nature's Prophet 5 now, and then Lesh mid, and then you take another offlane hero here that can get it. The Visage would have been sick. Oh, that would have been so good.
That's a hero that actually can go pipe. It's not the worst item to get on him, and would have been a very fast-paced pushing hero. But without that, I think you could consider like a Tidehunter type pick, even though it doesn't benefit from the Drow aura. It's very good in those Drow lineups.
What about a Brood?
First Underlord.
Two all in, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think with Drow, you're already pretty much all in. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't like take a tier 3 or something by like 30 minutes in, this Underlord and Morph are just gonna destroy you.
The Brood, you're all in on two different heroes. Yeah, Brood is amazing against Drow Rangers.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think the Brood with Drow is like you're all in on a Drow strat and a Brood, and you can't, go 50-50.
Last Shrag, Nature's Prophet, and Drow, that Brood would have just destroyed them.
So we'll see what the hero is going to be. Puck could be good. That's kind of a team fighting hero that benefits from Drow Aura. We'll see what it's going to be. Storm. Wow.
Whoa, what?
Okay.
Huh.
This is...
It's going to be the no-tail Drow, I think, and then...
That's the kind of hero that I'd say suits him.
Yeah. So, wait, or is it... Who's Seb going to play then? Because S4 is probably Leshrac, so is it going to be a Seb Storm?
Right?
I've never seen it.
Yeah,
I'm sure he can play it. I mean, he is very. I mean, he is like the third highest MMR in like all of Dota, so
yeah,
definitely can play it.
And he plays a mix of roles. Like he's mostly playing core when he's playing pubs, but he plays some weird stuff. Like he plays the shaker core and stuff. Like he knows his different heroes.
I really like this too because you have a Storm Spirit that can now go on the Morphling in the late game, and like if he gets a Linket or something, he can pop it with Nature's Prophet. I think it's really good.
Well, so I'm a little wondering, like, the only thing that sort of worries me slightly about it is it feels like you're kind of all in with the Drow lineup. This is like sort of a get out of jail free card, and I don't know if I love those. Like, I feel like if you're gonna go all in already, just go all the way in.
Wow.
And VGJ Storm.
Ember for Yawar. Okay, it is gonna be the Rezo Morphling. That's what Grant wanted.
Yeah, I think that's far better. I mean, Yawar is very good at it, but like in a game like this where you need a greedy Morphling, like they are going to be pushing you, but Rezo he farms a little bit quicker.
The Ember this game, I mean, it counters some of these heroes in a sense. You've got Roots versus Storm Spirit. You've also got a way to get on top of Drow Ranger, but also it goes both ways. Drow's got a silence. Storm Spirit, if you're going up against him mid, can just easily burn off your Flame Guard with the Remnants. So it's not like the easiest Ember game.
It's actually really different. Like, who do you want the Ember against? You don't want him versus Drow. Like, Drow can just Frost Arrow him.
Yeah.
How's that matchup against Storm before 6? Is it okay?
It's okay. You get like a magic stick, and you use your Flame Guard to help. If you need to go in for last hits and don't want to get hit by Remnant, you have Flame Guard, so it's not too bad.
I don't know. I actually like OG's draft a little bit more here. I think VGJ, like, if they do make to the 30-minute mark and Resolution has, like, one death, I think they just lose. But I think OG can definitely just run him over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see what we end up seeing in this one. Game number 1, playoff day. A little bit of a different format for this. We do have a day off tomorrow, but today we will know the winner's final as we play through 4 best-of-3. So a lot of great Dota 2. Buckle up, everybody. We've got a long one in front of us. And OG versus VGJ Storm. Look at these guys. Yeah. They're ready.
Some crazy results, This was meant to be the China major, but all 4 Chinese teams in the lower bracket.
Except VG's like the only one. Yeah, I still can't believe LGD really did. Like, you win a major versus the best teams, probably Liquid and VP, and now you're in loser's bracket because you get destroyed by an NA team. It is different. Like, it is. You don't see that often.
Yeah. Not from and when you say by an NA team, people would be like, "Oh, they lost to EG." No,
that happens.
This is VGJ. No offense to VGJ, but this is a team that was not on most people's radar until
the minor win.
Yeah, until minor, and even then it was like, well, it's a minor. They didn't even have to beat EG or Secrets. The crazy thing, I talked to Jack, and he's just like, sometimes someone just knocks out all those teams for you, and you're in the finals against King Gaming, and it feels good. But here they are. They've shown they're not just beating like weaker teams. They actually managed to 2-0 LGD here.
I think when everybody saw that lineup, they realized the potential that it could have. It's like all of these players are, at times, they've been the best part of each team that they've been a part of, I think, in various roles. Like whether it's SVG as a captain or drafter, or whether it's, MSS back when he was on Shazam or whatever. Like all these guys, they're players.
I do like it. So it is going to be middle. I'm going to be interested to see if Bane possibly goes middle at the very beginning. I don't think he will, but it might. It's weird. We're seeing one-on-ones middle a lot again, like almost 90% of the games.
Yeah, I think Storm Ember should be 50-50-ish, slightly Storm favored, like 60-40 Storm, I'd say.
I think like early, right? But then like once you get level 6, I think Ember actually starts taking a lead surprisingly because the Flame Guard levels just Storm can't kill him.
So lane swaps happening before the wave spawn. This is something you talk about. You don't see the lane swaps after the lanes emerge, but before the lanes, if you scout things out, you can make sure you get the the best possible setup, and then your opponents, because it's the side lanes, you can't really walk across the entire map once creeps are going down. You miss out on so much golden XP.
I'm really surprised they do this, though. Isn't like, I feel like Rezo might get heavily punished by a Drow or a Nature's Prophet.
That doesn't sound the friendliest.
With Fly in tow, and he has an Orb of Venom. Like, that sounds really scary, but I guess we'll see how it works out. Look at his damage he's taking already.
Yeah, just like that. He farms up the 2 little guys, but yeah, he's already at half HP.
It doesn't feel like there's a good lane for him, but you may as well go to your safe lane and use like the pulls and stuff to get the wave under your tower.
I guess they just want snaking, probably getting a little bit more farm, get the early helm with the Dominator, and then you can start ganking with it.
And I guess he's got Enfeeble, so we're going to see Enfeeble on both these heroes at various times. 95 mana cost, double Mango on SVG. This will give Resolution a little bit of extra space.
Oh, down bottom lane, they found themselves MSS on this Clockwork, and he's going to be able to walk away again. Just TP's out of there. Okay, fine.
He knew that cooldown perfectly. Actually, TP just to his tier 1 tower, so he's right back into the lane with the South.
It just feels like, yeah, it's going to be straight up 2-1-2 lanes. I don't think we're going to see mini rotations until maybe like the 4 or 6 minute rune from middle. If it's like a good rune, they might gank, but it's going to be pretty static, and I think this favors OG a little bit.
Well, they got a pull over here as well, pulling a couple creeps away from Resolution. And that's something that they're going to need to contend with. Just like all this aggression, if they shove out the wave and then pull it over to the side, going to miss out on some.
Yeah, theoretically with like Drow Aura, these lanes should be OG favored. It's only +3 damage though, level 1 Drow Aura. Gonna probably get another point in it soon, but...
It's not like Luno where it's like, oh, all of a sudden everyone has 12 damage at level 1. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, that's pretty good.
That lane is lost. This one is like a tiny bit of extra damage in every lane, but +3 is pretty negligible.
Well, top lane again. Just keep on getting punched out. Even with the Enfeeble going on, like, it's really not easy. And so far, you can see that Morphlane still getting a lot in this, and Drow Ranger's only got 5 last hits, so they're able to make it work.
Yeah, I think there's something No-Tail's always going to prioritize zoning the opposing team and harassing over getting a few last hits, and Drow's not the easiest hero to last hit with in a contested lane. But that'll quickly change. You know, you zone out this hero, you keep Rezo back, and suddenly you've got a free farm lane.
Yeah.
And there's, yeah, Bane has to run back to the base, can't do much.
Poor guy. It's just going to be run back and forth.
Yeah, we're going to start seeing this swing OG favored if there aren't rotations. Like Drow Aura is going to kick in over time. We're probably going to see a second point in it now. There we go. So +3 goes to +8 damage. Level 2 Drow Aura making a big boost.
Look at Resolution. He's down to almost nothing. He's through all of his regen right now. They're going to bring out some more tangos to him. Bane playing the courier.
Yeah, there's really not much Rezo can do. I'm actually surprised he has 10 CS.
So you are starting to take a little bit of pain here as well. A lot of right clicks onto him.
Yeah, with the Drow Aura Storm has a pretty big edge. Went double null on top of the Drow Aura.
Bottom lane, though. They have a trap on S4.
Ooh, yeah.
Trying to bring that guy down. And first blood, they tried to go for the snowball save there, Jerax did, but didn't happen. And they are going to be able to move over to contest the pull as well. Jerax may be in some trouble. He's going to get out of there.
Yeah. Good move from Rezo. He recognized, you know, this bottom lane is, if he TP's in there, he can kind of make a turn and help get these kills for his team, and also will find himself in a lane where he can actually get way better farm.
Mid lane now. Seb, though, he gets in a little bit of trouble. They're able to find him with the root and get the kill.
That's a solo kill for an Ember. Like, that should not happen.
Yeah.
And he gets the regen rune afterwards. Oh, man. That is a huge problem for Storm.
That is just, yeah, straight up outplay. Had the early point in Sleight of Fist, which probably caught the Storm by surprise. You're able to set up a Searing Chains from a bit further away, and Seb gets outplayed.
Gold lead is still in favor of OG because of how good they're doing in lanes, but a kill like that, you're going to get Yawar level 6, and he might just be able to, like, kill the Ember if he gets level 6 first again.
Yep.
So is this always the plan then? Resolution goes through the first couple waves, and then once it becomes untenable, as we see Clockwork get ran at here as well. SVG's in the area trying to keep him alive, just barely walking away, and they managed to bait Jerax into a death.
I don't think it was the plan. I think they realized over time, you know, actually sending Rezo top was not a good idea.
Seb? Oh, thought he was going down again.
Wow, this is actually going... This is like near perfect right now for VGJ Storm. Besides Rezo being a little bit under farm, the solo kill middle, and then these 2 kills bottom, like, you're fine sacrificing Snake King's a little bit of farm now.
good 3-man Shriner, so all 3 bottom laners are going to be back to full health and mana. And with 2 points in the aura, Snaking is much better in this offlane. So, I mean, perhaps it was like, let's get Snaking levels before he goes to fight the Drow lane, because he needs multiple points in the trophy aura, which is pretty garbage at level 1.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, works out, and I think
now...
now...
Mid lane, kill it.
Oh, God. What?
Holy shit.
He just got level 6 now, and Storm had level 6 there, so... I don't know, as I miss another kill.
No, I think the biggest thing is, right, you can't ulti from Storm out of chains anymore. Like when they that was a while ago, obviously, but it's crazy. If he's at half HP, he's almost in risk of dying every single time now.
Yeah, I mean, UR is having a fantastic game. I think he heard what we were saying about being the weak link, and he's like, guys, come on.
Yeah, when we did say weak link, we're just like, he gets given like the sacrificial role.
Yeah. We always knew
I've been a war support. Come on. I know you.
Not you, Grad. Not you, Grad.
Oh, he's got an invis now as well. Is this another solo kill time?
Nah,
okay.
He has to be harassed down. I like this. You just do that, right? You just flame guard up, get him to half HP, and then wait for the next cooldown. You can do it again. Bane, we'll go down bottom. They're tri-laning finally. And that's what you have to do. You have to kill this tier 1 so you can take over the jungle bottom if you're OG.
Resolution heads top now, too.
Yeah, I'm surprised Drow actually doesn't come bottom, too. I know it's early, but this tower's for sure gone if you go there.
And Drow's alone top is... Drow's going to die very soon if they don't help her out, so...
There's a Tusk.
They're going to bring Tusk in and see what they can make happen.
Not quite level 6 for No Tail yet. Very close to it, but that huge increase in the amount of damage they're able to do. Going to keep my eye mid here as Yawar is sitting with the invis. They're also trying to set up there for mid, and Seb's just going to jump away.
He's going to just, force him to make that ball off.
Oh, Rezo wavestorm forward, but he didn't realize that MSS was going to get blocked off. Can't get in to help his carry. Rezo trying to run away, maybe deciding that they actually can go for this, but they managed to find the silence, still jumping forward. Rezo's going to be able to survive through this. The chase forward, Big Daddy No Tail getting out of there, it looks like, as nobody dies.
Yeah, he TP'd while his flame guard was on. It wore off. Could have been an easy kill, but they just didn't have the cooldowns. And now this might be a turn on MSS.
Yeah, Storm can fall into a cogs, but should have this kill.
Yeah. Gets a flare off before he goes.
And S4 solo kills Snaking bottom. Level 6 Leshrac, this is one of the scary series in the game when he hits level 6.
Isn't it funny? Like, people used to not skill ulti on, like, Leshrac, like, a year ago even. Like, for all Dota 1 and, like, a lot of Dota 2, people were like, nah, it's not good. And then they're like, wait a minute, that's a lot of burst damage on a hero.
And he talked about bringing the whole crew. They are all up top now as well. Nature's Prophet is going to tank the tower while just keep on hitting away at it.
They've got Drow's level 6, so this is where they start to push very fast. It's 28 damage from the Precision Aura, so it's a global Luna blessing, essentially, at this point.
They are TPing down bottom now as well, it looks like, and Fly going to try and get the pressure on with S4.
Yeah, they're just avoiding snaking now. Like, if snaking TP's top, they know they can TP bottom and do a lot better, and then when his TP's up, they'll probably just leave that lane as well.
See if Notel stays around this top lane. I don't think he can defend this on his own. And for VGJ, yeah, you show snaking TP top and you can't defend bottom, but they can now take a free tower of their own because it does not look like OG are able to defend.
Yep, they just leave. I don't know if that's like the best trade either for OG, like a 1-for-1 trade for towers with a Drow.
It's tough though, because like that's the strength of the Underlord, right? Is that if he shows up in a lane, you just can't really push there as easily anymore. But yeah, I think that the VGJ doing a good job of matching the tempo that OG are trying to play at.
Well, OG's draft, they push towers, but they also don't defend them well because they don't have that Underlord-like hero. That's where it felt like getting a team fighting, like a Tide, something tanky to frontline could have allowed them to defend these towers a bit better and threaten a team fight, but instead their team fight is just non-existent.
Yeah, I like this. S4 will continue to just like solo push bottom, but they will TV Fly top to defend, and well, here comes Underlord.
And the push is done.
Oh, he's using the ulti early, so now he can, ulti one direction and then TP to another. Stay very mobile as a result.
He has a full Helm of the Dominator as well coming out. He's farmed Soul Ring, Helm of the Dominator on snaking, 3 clarity.
Look at this, though. They find themselves snaking in the jungle and trying to take him down. Not able to get the Firestorm off, but the jump in on 3. They found OG, killing them all off. Big Daddy is going to fall snaking. Does end up going down, but VGJ Storm fight back in a big way. SVG trying to run away. Jerax has found him, gets the right click, and Seb looks like he will escape, but they make it work.
Man, you are having such a good game. He's everywhere he needs to be. 3-0 already. Won't get this Arcane Rune, but
Treads Ember pretty standard now?
I'm seeing a lot more of this like tanky Ember build, like this Treads Blade Mail has become a thing, where you just go for these early fighting builds and then build into like the Mjolnir or even just a casual Maelstrom.
I mean, you have 2 abilities that do insane damage, like Searing Chains plus Flame Guard. Like you don't need to build damage for that.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Oh, Seb low on mana a little bit here. I don't know if Yuar wants to go for this, but he's thinking about it at least.
It definitely could be a kill if he fits it correctly.
Makes it happen. The chains are there. He can chase with the Remnant if he wants after the fact.
Doesn't have any, actually.
Okay. Well, Big Daddy's going to go down top while that's all going on, and now they're going to try and chase down MSS. They do have the ulti coming in from S4, as well as the Wrath of Nature from Fly, and that guy's dead.
I think that's the biggest thing. You have this Drower, plus you have the global presence of Nature's probably his ulti, but he can just TP anywhere as well. Like, that fight middle could have been a lot worse if he wasn't there. Really underleveled on a lot of these heroes. Like, Bane still isn't level 6 at 11 minutes in. Tome had to... Like, MSS was level 4, like, 3 minutes ago. He had to get the Tome to get it. It's just a very low-level game except those mids.
A lot of, I guess, early group up and pushes we saw, particularly from OG, but then as a result, VGJ Storm couldn't play that lane and went to the, like, they pushed the offlane tower, so. Not many heroes playing solo. The laning stage kind of ended very early this game.
As soon as Drow hit 6, basically.
Yep.
And see, it's going to be a Morphling Treads also after the Ring of Health, so realizing we need to get in there and actually fight.
Yeah, I think this is just... I think OG's still okay. I mean, I feel they didn't have the best laning phase, but Rezo is very much held down. Snaking, very farm, so is Yawar, but at least the Morphling isn't. It's like the one consolation.
Yeah. And all of the OG... Well, 2 of the OG cores doing very well. Drow's is quite a bit behind, unfortunately, for them, but he's a hero that can enable his other cores, even without a lot of farm on himself.
Like we used to see, right? Drows used to always, like, dual lane.
MSS is missed the smoke gank that's coming into here, and they have the Morphling in their sights. Jerax, level 7. Big Daddy's there. He can open with the Gust if he wants. It's pretty hard to get that initiation, though, and it looks like they're just going to have to give up the tower, actually.
Yep. They have no one showing on the map except, like, just Nature's Prophet bottom.
Oh, wait a minute, though. They jump into this one, trying to take them down, able to dodge the Gust as well. Snowball going to go forward there onto UR, trying to chase him down. They have another round of chains as well, rooting onto 2. He jumps into the cogs yet again in the long-duration pushback coming from the Morphling. As they chase now onto Fly. Looks like he might be dead, as they do have chains available, and he's a gonzo. Wow.
And now look at, they're gonna, like you said, Helm of the Dominator, go top. This is a free tier 2 now.
They use this Helm of the Dominator Underlord so effectively. Half the time it's not even to go for ganks, it's just to put themselves in the right place on the map after they take a team fight.
Damn, this is... That one team fight makes it look so bad for OG now. Like, they got a decent jump, but Yawar, like, on the backside, zoned 2 of them out while Jerax rolled in, and I don't know, Yawar getting those early solo kills, he's so farmed.
The Yule Scepter queued up, already level 11. His
That's
impact
amazing.
is...
Yeah, he's like... Ember's more of a level here, right? You get maxed out Searing Chains and Flame Guard, you do so much damage.
The level advantage he's got is going to cause a lot of problems. On the dire side, you've got level 7 Drow. Lesh and Storm are doing okay in terms of levels, but these are heroes that realistically need a lot of farm right now.
I mean, the thing that's nuts is that it's really like Nature's Prophet is at the same level as your Drow Ranger, right? Like, it's okay that you have a high level Nature's Prophet, but yeah, you need some more of those levels on these guys.
Prophet's out farming Drow by a significant margin too.
Yeah.
That's troublesome.
I think the biggest thing for me is I'm really surprised S4 didn't go for a Yules, and he's going drums into Bloodstone. Like, I actually think that's really bad for how they're playing this game.
That's one of those things where, like, Ember goes in, you can just purge off his Flame Guard instantly using that Yule Scepter.
But now, like, if they just run at him, right, like, drums don't give you that good of stats anymore. Like, he only has 1,000 HP.
Right. I guess his thought is it's like, I don't know, he needs to help out his team get right clicks more. Oof.
Wow. Dodges that Gust again, you are. On point. And once he gets his Yule Scepter, he's unkillable. They don't have
really
a good stun to initiate with. They don't have any stuns outside of the Leshrac Split Earth. And, well, I mean, the Storm Pull as well, but you're not going to be able to kill him during those. And Leshrac's stun is unreliable, so...
I just realized they picked Storm into Underlord. Like, Pit of Malice is like one of the biggest counters to that hero.
Seb, they find him. Fiend's Grip not quite going to be there. He's going for the Nightmare first, but they still got eyes on him here as they want to be able to find him. The jump forward, the Remnant, able to dodge away from it. Doesn't get there on the chains and is going to be able to find the root. The hook shot in. They chase him to the ends of the earth and they take down the Storm Spirit. And the Snowball to try and turn this back around. Jerax, they're going to end up going for the Dark Rift away.
The buyback.
And that should be all of them out as well.
This VGJ just they look like a real good team.
Yeah, they're making all the right calls. Like, they're moving together. They use this Dark Rift incredibly well. Like,
and Resolution's free farming this whole time. That's a 4-man gank while your true carry is just farming. He's going to have Lincolns at about 18 minutes, which is not terrible.
And arguably the true carry of the Dire just bought back for nothing, basically. Like, that really hurts. And he does have a Kaya. He's got these items. He's going for a BKB afterwards, so realizing they need to keep the pressure up. If this keeps up like this, I mean, oh no, is he going to... They've got the sleep now. They're going to have the... No more Fiend's Grip, but they will have a Chains, able to catch, trying to bring him down low, and a dieback for the Storm Spirit at 16 minutes.
Fly almost saved him. I thought he might have with that 4-staff he has, but... I just don't know what you do if you're OG anymore. Like, you want a 5-man, but you lose these 5-mans.
Oh my god, he smells blood. He's going after No-Tail, trying to TP away, but they're going to get him caught. He was underneath a ward, and OG lose another.
This game's kind of over in a lot of ways.
Oh my goodness. I'm pretty sure it's just over.
God, you are. He is a monster. They're all gone.
They haven't lost. They've still got 2 Tier 2 towers, but I would not be surprised to see an early GG. They're losing this game 4v5 right now while more farms. And
I would say we might see an early GG, but OG is the only team that will not forfeit till the throne goes over, but it feels so bad. I think the only way they can play this now, right, is Nature's Prophet and Drow have to split push different lanes, but one of them's going to die.
Yeah, you're against Ember, you're against Clockwork Hookshot. Morphling, once he has a shotgun, is going to be able to pick people off. Like, and how do you split push against Underlord? This year, TP's back, Dark Rift somewhere. Like, you can't actually win the split push battle. Morphling's going to outsplit push you.
Look at the level disadvantage that you've got here. There's 3 heroes that are level 13. They're diving from all other side of the world, and they are going to kill off Resolution.
Full IG, he gets punished for it.
It's a bad play by Rezo, and a nice pick off there. You just TP him in, get the good snowball from the Radiant not having vision, easy kill. And they don't get that tier 2 bottom. Looks like they still want to push into it, but I think if you're Dire, you have to defend this.
Got a numbers advantage now with the Morph dead, but we haven't seen them win these fights even with Morph not there, so
it's true.
Not sure how much that changes things.
I mean, I guess to be fair, the last couple of minutes have been a lot of pickoffs on OG when they've been like rotating to go places, and maybe if they're all together, that could change things a little bit. But
it's just so hard because their lineup's incredibly squishy. Like, who starts the fight? Who's going to be the one running in? Perhaps if somebody gets like Leshrac gets a BKB or Storm. That's why Storm has a BKB queued up, because he knows he's probably the initiator right now. He has to just bowl in to start a fight. No one else can actually start a fight for him. So that really makes it difficult for OG to play any kind of a team fight game.
I do like OG definitely has the better Roche taking team though. You do take one fight, Roche is guaranteed. On the other side, VGJ Storm, they take it pretty slowly unless you have a full Agi morph, which you don't want versus Storm.
Yeah.
One thing that's so cool, they've got the Crimson Guard fully done on the Underlord, but they've also got a Buckler on top of that on Clockwork. Like, all these little items that are just so perfectly built to deal with what it is that OG are trying to run.
The only problem with that is you do commit a lot to these early ones, which I think, if you're VGJ Storm, I think you do build to the late game now. Like, you're in the lead, you can take control of the map. Don't let OG just continue farming, because they're getting a little bit of space right now.
And they've got 4 heroes, gain some farm. Nature's Prophet, a hero that can scale and get some items this game. Something definitely to be a little bit concerned about. But this Drow is still
so under farm.
Well, they spot him there. There's going to be the hook shot in. They do have that 4-staff still available. The Cogs push back onto 2. They're chasing. And it looks like with Yawar moving in, the second Remnant, the chains onto both. Got him caught and done.
They try to split up, and Yawar just manages to find both of them right in the middle. It's just, he's playing out of his mind right now.
Yeah, he is absolutely destroying them, and we'll see them now take out the mid-tier 2 tower. They can kind of fall back and go for Roshan soon, perhaps.
Now they can. I think with those people dead, Rezo does have enough damage with full Agi to take it, but no medallion on either team. It's a little surprising.
A bit of a different look.
Dark Rift top, they're going to find S4 here. He's going to TP out from the trees.
Oh my God, that's so scary. You just like have him chasing you.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Not going to find the pick as... Oh, geez, no tell. They're going to try fight this one? This seems insane. They've got the ward here and the creep wave chasing MSS, so they have vision of VGJ.
Ember isn't here.
Ooh.
That's one thing that they got to be careful about.
He can TP in, though. There's a shrine. Yeah, and he already is.
All right, Resolution going to have the snowball onto him. Chase, seeing if they can find one, but he's already full strength for him. A long duration stun there. Epitomalis onto 2 as well. Seb trying to take down the Bane. The bigger fish to fry are going down as it looks like they're going to be able to find 1 kill. That's 2 dead. Both the supports already out of there. And Big Daddy trying to run. Can they catch him out? They have the Yules. There's the chains. He's dead as well.
Yikes.
Yeah, I think you had to take that fight, and like you said, Yawar wasn't there, but he TPs like immediately when they know that fight's gonna start.
Well, that's almost a Radiance on Ember here.
That's it. I mean, this is I said the game was over by 30 if they don't start pushing the base, but we're at 20 minutes now. It's a 9K lead.
Yeah.
One of your cores doesn't scale. Like Drow really doesn't scale. She can't flash farm unless you have like an early Ags or Maelstrom.
Yeah, if this game was even and Drow had like comparable farm to some of these other VGJ cores, you'd say, well, it's not looking good, but there's still a chance, you know, because they're farming all right. But we're talking about a Drow with 5.5k net worth. Ember has almost double the net worth of Drow Ranger.
Yeah, and the other stat is that Clockwork almost has the same net worth as the Drow Ranger. Game is hard.
Extremely hard. And you see, like, MSS is getting... Snaking just throws the pit down. He's getting, like, 2-man hook shots.
Yeah.
Like, that shouldn't happen. You shouldn't be that close together if you're OG.
Well, no rush for VGJ. In fact, they can't easily push high ground with Ember and just a Morphling with Lincolns and Ghost Scepter. Like, their lineup doesn't actually push high ground, but again, they don't really need to. They've got way better late game. Storm isn't really going to be a threat to them. Leshrac has this Bloodstone, but isn't going to be a game-changing item.
Oh, you are ran out again. They've got the stun. They've got nothing. You know, I was gonna say this to me feels like it's kind of an interesting test for VGJ Storm, because this is the type of game that sometimes they would have thrown away in the past. As No Tail, oh, he's found out again. They got eyes on him. The hook shot, he misses.
He hits. That's on Snaking. Don't get in his way.
Radiant's bottom
That's siege
tower
creep
is
blocking
under
it.
attack.
Little mistake there. I mean, not the biggest deal. It's still nice gank to push in, but I think the biggest thing, if Fly can get a sheep stick here, I think they're in a reasonably good spot. I assume that might be what he's going. He doesn't have anything queued up but wards, but you get a sheep stick and you get it on top of this Ember, you can definitely burst him down.
Yeah, he just queues it up as you say that. He had it queued up earlier as well, so he wanted to get this as a way to gank this Ember.
Yeah,
Like,
it is a game-changing item. Like, you can kill the Ember so easily if he doesn't go stat items.
Well, he is actually switching it up now. He's got a, looks like Shiva's Guard queued up, and he will have the plate mail in his inventory. So that makes it a little tougher.
Yeah. I like that swap by you are.
if he sees the Hex coming, he may even go Lincolns, because, you know, all he needs to do is survive this game.
Man, that Ember, 28 armor just with Shiva's.
8-0-10 for his score, top net worth. It's really cool to see him actually do well again. Like, this is a guy that, you know, everybody's been talking about how good he could be, and he's shown it.
Yeah. And that's been a lot of the NA players, and I think that just comes down to SVG. You finally have a captain besides Kyle and PPD who can make something happen. And they are just they're going to go high ground here.
All right.
Use the Aegis. I don't like wasting an Aegis ever, so I think this is smart.
They have Crimson Pipe, so they're very tanky here.
Seb, he's going to be rooted. They're walking in further forward, and they take him down. There's just never a chance there. They might be able to find a kill here, but the pushback on 1, the catch onto 2, MSS has everybody in his sights. Another Pit of Malice onto 3. With 2 already gone, this tower not long for the world.
Yeah. It didn't look good for Seb, didn't pop his BKB, but ultimately, even if he uses it there, I don't think it changes all too much.
Oof.
So will self-deny. Like you say, OG, a team that doesn't really GG out of
They
these
won't.
games.
I mean, it's smart. You can talk about things, right? Like, obviously, like, what is going to happen in Game 2, because I hate to be the one to say it, but this game's over, like, completely.
Dyer's top barracks are under
So what do you learn from this? Just don't draft Drow lineup? I mean, I don't think Drow lineups are ever good, but they tried something new, it didn't work. You just...
I
Maybe
think
they-
you don't try a Drow two games in a row.
Yeah.
I don't think this was a massive outdraft by any means. They just got outplayed so badly. Like, Seb getting solo killed twice in the mid lane. They could have had... Like, they didn't get a chance to even show what a Drow lineup was meant to do this game.
Yeah. I think that's the thing too, where you maybe put him on a hero he's more comfortable with. Is a couple of routes. I mean, they're just all dead. We'll leave it at that. BKV comes out, but it's not really a whole lot of anything. As this Bane is barely going to not even go down. Yep, he ends up dying, but so too will the Storm Spirit. I'm thinking like back to that Tidehunter pick that you were talking about and how good that could have been. As Resolution just going to town and going to finish off S4 here as well, most likely. And one last death. GG called.
All right, well, that was a extremely convincing win.
Jay just looked miles ahead of OG from this game.
They do. I mean, you can look at my bracket on the BTS Twitter, but I had a 2-0 in like an hour kind of thing, and they just have to win in 45 minutes. And VGJ, they really do. I mean, the minor, like you said, it's hard to gauge where they were. They didn't play EG Secret there. They did win the event, but now you're just seeing them. They 2-0 at LGD. They're up 1-0 on OG, and they don't look like they're stopping anytime soon.
All right, NADO is looking good. You can check out my bracket on Dota2.com/predictions.
What
As
do
everyone
you
else
have?
predictions.
Yeah.
I had VGJ.
2-0 or 2-1.
They don't give
I
you
mean,
2-0,
they don't
2-1.
get to predict the score, so
I put the most amount of tokens on this series.
I
for
probably
them.
would have had 2-0. I mean, I put a lot of tokens on LGD winning because they're in lower bracket playing against.
They're playing against Newbie?
IGV or
Newbie.
Yeah,
Is it
IGV.
Newbie?
IGV.
It's
okay,
IGV.
Yeah. And then on the who's next series?
Next series is
TNC Mineski
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
upper
That
bracket.
will
That's
be
a
a
good
real
one.
good one. I'm
That one I
stoked.
disagree with you. I have TNC.
I have
Do
TNC
you?
too.
I've trusted my
Okay,
Pinoy boys.
I know we shouldn't be talking about the series already, but the thing is,
We're ready to move on.
I literally thought about it, and people were like, "You got to pick TNC." So the first day, I said they were going to 2-0, and they win game 1, and they have no clue what to do game 2 every single time.
but the beauty is there's a game 3 now.
That's
so
true.
It's
I
like
don't know.
then you get to game 3. It's a best of 1, and TNC man, they win those best of 1.
That's true.
Who knows what's going to happen? It's TNC.
I mean, I do, but OG, I think what they need to do is, I don't know, did they just not have a game plan after that Kunkka was banned? It felt like they've been so happy with this Kunkka going through, and they pick it, and then it just gets banned. This is the first time it's been like first ban this tournament, and now you have a drow lineup that failed.
They looked like they had no idea quite what to do and what to game plan for without those comfort picks.
I think also that thing you were talking about where it's like the kill early on the Storm Spirit there solo, like that's something that I feel like hurts you in a way where it like sets back your game plan because you probably depended upon that hero to be the one that was sort of carrying you through, and if that falls apart then you have to change it up and like switch things up.
He's their initiator this game. That's the crazy thing. You don't have like even a Sand King as a support. You have a Tusk. Snowball's not like an initiating spell. Ice Shards could be, but only at certain parts of the game and against certain heroes, not against an Ember. So
I think that's where, Yawar, right, he's back to his middle. He used to be carry. He's like going back to middle. He knows all these matches. I mean, his practice partner for a long time was just Sumail. Like, you know the only way you're going to kill Ember versus Storm is if he's at half HP. And right when he was half HP, you get the chains. It's an easy kill. Yeah. I think that's just, I wouldn't say it's an outclass Yawar versus Seb, but like that hero matchup felt like Yawar just knew what he was doing.
And leaving him on an island, I guess that's the other thing, is like after that happened, did anybody rotate to his lane?
No.
Like if you get solo killed, don't you like get somebody to come over and...
The problem is though, you get solo killed, right? So now the middle has an EXP advantage over you. If you rotate someone middle, you lose even more experience. It's just, I don't know, roaming supports just aren't that good anymore. You see even MSS, he's a Clockwork. He doesn't roam anywhere till like level 5, and then he gets a kill.
And when he got the kill, he was like level 5, and then he was halfway to level 6. So you think to go Roman, well, he's got level 6, he's got ulti. And once that Ember hit level 6, he was pretty much unkillable that game. I don't think he actually died once the entire game. See what he did. He ended 11-0-15. Like, it was the perfect last pick for VGJ Storm in the end.
Do you think, what if, I'm just trying to think of stuff, what if No-Tail like focused more on last hitting there? Do you think, is that what you're supposed to do in that lane? Because he focused a lot on just trying to harass out of lane, but Yawar didn't really need the chicken middle, so it was fine just bringing the chicken top and getting more regen.
I think it would have helped, but I think the bigger problem was just their draft not having a good like frontliner or some way to start fights. Even the 5 position Nature's Prophet, that's where a lot of teams will pick Tusk and get like a Disruptor or something. Get something that can set kills up. A glimpse into Kinetic Field, Static Storm is going to find you some picks, and I didn't like the support duo. I didn't like the 3 cores. Like, yeah, you have Drow, you want to pick 3 ranged heroes, but I think Drow lineups are best when you have 2 ranged heroes with a tanky offlaner.
Yep.
That to me is like the best possible Drow lineup. But
I know people don't talk about light, but that second round of bans when they banned, it was Warlock,
Witch Doctor,
and
right?
Witch Doctor, yeah. Like, OG banned those heroes versus VGJ, and you leave SVGs. I mean, Bane is his most played hero. Like, you ban those 2 heroes, and then you leave, like, the best duo laner in the game. Like, that felt a little bit odd.
So are you saying that you want to see them ban out Warlock?
I want to see him
Bane.
not ban out SVG's heroes. Like,
Okay.
SVG is...
All right.
I don't think 5 positions mean as much as some people think they do, and, like, you just give him his best hero anyways. Like, what was the point?
They're
Those
doing
2
a drought
bans were
strat.
wasted.
You don't care about 5s when you're doing a drought strat.
Yeah,
You care
exactly.
about, like, the Underlord is the hero that, is going to stop your drought strat.
I guess that brings back the question then, was the drow premeditated, or was that something where they saw it and then they switched it up, like, in the heat of the moment? Which, I mean, there's no way for us to know.
I think if you do a drow strat, you know you're going to do it going into the game. Like, I think drow strat's one of those few, you're like, okay, we're going to drow strat him. I don't think you do that one on the fly. And they found out it didn't work, so they're going to have to go back to the drawing board.
Yep. Well, we got 9 out of 10 in the lobby. I think everybody's going to hop in there in a second. They're switching up some admin-y things. We've had this very long shot of OG here. Taking a look at all those fine folks. Looking like their spirits may be lifting a little bit, possibly.
I don't think so. Seb looks he looks lost. I mean, like,
That's just the facial.
that's
right?
the thing.
He's
I don't know. I'm glad they put him on the playmaker here again, like they've been doing. When he plays Slark, he makes plays, and Storm should be their playmaker. But who are you able to kill as a Storm solo in that game either, right? Bane's like one of the few good heroes against Storm early. You can't solo kill him.
Yeah.
There was no plays to be made for him.
I guess, they found the one kill in the morph. If he's farming on full agi, you
so,
can
yeah.
kill him, but that's...
I think that was a mistake by him, yeah.
Yeah, is that really a good play, or is that just, misplays by Rezo, so... Yeah,
If you're relying on them
it
to
was
make
tough.
mistakes, it's not great.
I think Kunkka.io, we can just those 2 heroes are going to get banned again no matter what from either team. Gyro,
I think
first banned the Gyro, right?
they banned Gyro DP because they want to target UR. I think those are the heroes you can pick for no-tail as well, though.
Yeah.
Like,
What
put
about that
him on a
Beastmaster you're
DP.
talking about, right? Like,
I think I think Beastmaster doesn't lose lanes. Like, no matter who he's paired with, I've never seen a Beastmaster lose a lane, but he doesn't win games, which is odd. Like, you have to have a up 1+ with Beastmaster to do that, and No-Tail hasn't been that +1 yet for him.
I kind of like that Dragon Knight that we were talking about too, or any of those heroes that are just sort of you play around the ultimate. Like, if any time that you lose a game like that, I think it's good to sort of get back to basics of like, all right, let's just run this strategy that we know really well. DP or a DK, you start like, moving around the map as a group, but you still have some scalability into the late game if things go awry.
Dragon Knight's been a sick hero this event. He's like 90% win rate or something. 88% win rate over
All right, so
17
VGJ
games.
Storm's going to pick him then.
Yeah.
They got the win rates. We want OG too, but SVG's going to look it up. And
God, I'm looking
Lesh
at that
is-
punch right there, that Lesh.
11% over 18. I don't even think that includes last game yet. He's going to be even lower.
Man. That's terrible. That's it's going to be under 10%. That's absolute garbage.
That is so bad. Oh, wow, Beastmaster also is down there too. Never mind.
Beastmaster's not a good tournament. There's a lot of heroes with like 80, 90%. Lycan's been one. Warlock's at 75.
That's because they're playing against Leshrac.
DK,
I think, yeah. I think Lycan's one of those heroes. If another team if they don't ban DP and someone picks DP, I think Lycan's like one of the best counters to that hero because you can purge off the Yules, and if he doesn't have an extra item, Lycan runs over him. So I just don't think OG really plays Lycan that much.
I think the Lone Druid was another good ban too. That was the third ban.
Oh yeah, that's something No-Tail plays a lot of.
Yeah, it's a pretty good thing to take away from him. I don't know.
This is scary if you're OG. That's all I'm going to say. Like, you just got 25 minutes in when you have the Drow lineup. It doesn't look like that was your set strategy is how I view that. Like, now you're just going to go in there and be like, well, maybe we have nothing to lose. Let's pick something else. And it's winner's bracket. They're still in the tournament even if they lose this.
All right, looks like we go into a quick break before we get into game number 2. So we'll come back after a short little break.